Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about the silence of the covert narcissist. I want to do a quick podcast on this because a lot of people don't understand. Also, I just want to say go check out my podcast on how covert narcissists are silent bullies because a lot of this is overlapping, but I just wanted to get into a little bit more about how covert narcissists how they operate in silence, all right? And this is the main reason why they're so insidious. This is why a lot of people say this is the main reason why they could be so dangerous. Because when you deal with a covert narcissist, they never ever let you know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're doing. They leave you in the dark. Covert narcissists completely leave you in the dark. And another thing about a covert narcissist is that they fight with silence. They're not confrontational in the sense that they fight you head on, okay? Sorry, you guys, we're having a thunderstorm here. So you're going to hear it a little bit in the background. But one of the things about a covert narcissist is that they're just not transparent. You'll never know what's going on. You think things are all right. And I just put up a post about this where I talked about, well, a covert narcissist is the type of person that'll say something like, well, I don't have a problem with you. We're good. And then they'll go and stab you in the back. See, a covert narcissist will never let you know, a lot of times that they're angry because they don't want you to know that they're going to get back at you. So it's kind of like keep your enemies close, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So they want to keep you close. They want to make you think everything's okay. And this is how they become, they're able to be very sneaky behind your back, maybe cheating on you, maybe talking about you, maybe having other connections that you don't know about. So they never want you to think that things are never okay because, then you may pull away from the relationship. Maybe you're going to look to get back at them. Okay. So they try to fool you by making you think everything's okay. Now, another thing about a covert narcissist is their silence. Okay. Covert narcissists, the way that they invalidate you is by being silent most of the time. See, when you deal with an overt or malignant narcissist, you pretty much know where you stand. They'll let you know when they're pissed off. They'll tell you off. They may get in your face. If it's a malignant narcissist, they could get violent with it. But with a covert narcissist, you never really know where you stand, okay? You're thinking that everything is all right. You're thinking that this person is in the relationship and that they're happy and they're all in. But one of the things you have to understand with a covert narcissist is that they are not all in. They were never all in. A covert narcissist will never open themselves up that much and make themselves vulnerable to one person. They're afraid of getting hurt. So a lot of times the way they operate, you guys, is by silence. In other words, if you do something they don't like, they'll stay silent about it and they'll pay you back later. Or if they want to invalidate you around a lot of other people, they will ignore you, okay? They fight you by ignoring you, by making you feel insignificant. Another way that they are insidious, okay? A covert narcissist is the type of person that, let's say, they're walking on the street and they see somebody that may need help, a handicapped person coming down the stairs. They're the type that would make like they don't even see that person and just go down the stairs, okay? And then they play dumb. See, covert narcissists always play dumb. They always want to make like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't see the person or something like that. But the thing is, silence is an answer. Silence is an answer because sometimes you have a moral obligation to say something, or if you care and love somebody, you're going to validate them. But with a covert narcissist, what they do is they say nothing. Okay, they say nothing, and I've dealt with this with a in-law, a mother, a narcissistic mother-in-law who would stay quiet and not say anything, but then behind my back be ripping me to shreds. Or I dealt with it, in my my prior relationship, where they would just sit there and stay silent. They wouldn't disagree with you, and you'd sit there and talk yourself blue in the face trying to explain yourself to this person, and they look at you and they make you, they're not arguing with you, they're not, disagreeing with you, but their silence is an answer. Their silence is an answer. And the other thing that a covert narcissist does is they appease you, and they'll say, oh yeah, no, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Nobody says, oh, I don't have a problem with you. Everything's okay. More than a covert narcissist who's about to stab you in the back. So again, they want to make you think that everything's okay, so that they stab you in the back and you don't know where it's coming from. And when I say stab you in the back, I mean like talk about you behind your back, maybe steal your money, maybe try to hurt you in some way, maybe cheat on you if they're mad at you for revenge. But a covert narcissist silence tells you something. See, when you deal with a covert narcissist, in order to understand what's on that person's mind, you have to study the nonverbal body language of that person, okay? In other words, when you're talking to this person, are they connecting to you? Or are they sitting there rolling their eyes, turning their head, making like they don't hear you? They deliberately do that because they want to invalidate you, but they want to do it in such an insidious manner that you can never call them out on it, because if you ever say anything like, oh, is there a problem? You're turning your head, you're rolling your eyes or something, they'll say, oh, you're so sensitive, okay? You're so sensitive. Did I say anything? See, a covert narcissist feels like, well, if I didn't say anything negative, then why do you have a problem? But this is how they fight. It's passive-aggressive behavior. They fight with silence, okay? And they love it. Like if they have an argument with you or you do something that they don't like, they all of a sudden they go stone cold silent on you. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? They seem like they're all right. Now they're not talking to me. I don't know what their problem is. Okay. And that's what it is. They're being passive aggressive and they're running silent on you. So here you are like trying to figure it out and say, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? And so what is this doing? It's causing confusion in you, and it's causing doubt in you, to doubt yourself that you did or said something wrong. But see, that covert narcissist, they don't communicate. And they feel that, they have that elitist attitude, like, they're not going to drop down to your level and sit there and communicate and explain what's wrong. Instead, they feel they're better than you. I'm better than you. I don't even need to answer you. I'm just going to run stone cold silent on you and confuse you. Okay? And then what's that going to do? That's going to make you come begging for them. All right? Don't ever do that. Don't ever go beg somebody who goes silent on you. All right? This is a form of control, so that you're afraid to open your mouth. You're afraid to do something, okay, that they're going to run silent on you. When somebody runs silent on you, you let them stay silent. They could stay silent for the next 10 years, all right? Because you have to be independent within yourself, that you don't need anybody, all right, so that you don't become codependent on this person, all right? If they want to go silent, let them stay silent. But when they come back around, don't be so accommodating to work things out with them. It's got to be on your terms, not their terms, because they're not the ones that are willing to communicate with you. All right. But the point I'm trying to make is to point out with these covert narcissists that, when you feel that feeling of invalidation from somebody, let's say you're speaking the truth. Let's say you're trying to get them to see where you're coming from, and they sit there and they don't acknowledge it. Instead, they're not talking bad about you, or they're not saying anything to you directly, okay? Instead, they're being silent, all right? That silence is an answer. That silence is telling you that they disagree with you, okay? So you have to read between the lines, okay? When somebody is not connecting with you, when they're giving you silence, when somebody is not texting you back right away, when somebody is not making time for you, they are not all into you. They are not all into the relationship. They are not all into working out a problem with you, okay? So they distance themselves, and they distance themselves with silence, And the silence also is to plant that doubt within yourself so that you question yourself and say to yourself, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. No, just because this person is not validating you does not make you wrong. Okay? That's what you guys have to realize. You've got to stand firm in your truth. This is very important, all right? I didn't learn this till later on in life, okay? A lot of times I thought people were built like me. I thought like if you were honest, you were open, you were direct, that I would get that same kind of honesty, directness, and transparency out of somebody. But that's not always the case, because there's a lot of people in this world that are not open, honest, direct like you. Okay? They're snaky, they're passive aggressive, they fight behind your back, they smile to your face and stab you in the back. So what I'm telling you is this: silence is an answer. So somebody's silence is telling you how they feel about you. Okay? Another thing I want to point out is this: when somebody doesn't make you a priority, you don't make them a priority in your life. You've got to pick up on that and don't be gaslit and confused by the excuses that they come back to you with. Because a lot of them, this is how they cover up. They give you excuses and say something like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I have to work. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. People that care about you will make time for you. People that care about you will validate you and back you up, okay? But a covert narcissist doesn't care. They only care about themselves, and they will not back you up. And they will show their disdain for you by silence, okay? Understand this. See, but the thing is, you've got to be strong within yourself. I got to tell you guys a story. It's like my daughter, young people, teenagers and stuff growing up, there's a lot of insecurity that children have through schools and everything like that. And, sometimes, like she said to me, Mom, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could, be more, outgoing and not feel so insecure and this and that. And I told her, I said, listen, it's because of your age. A lot of it has to do with your age. You don't have enough life experience. The more experience you get, okay, the more you become more confident, the more knowledge you have, the more confident a person that you become. So I told her, I said, listen, you have to believe in yourself, okay? You have to believe in yourself. If there's something that you don't understand or you don't know, then you educate yourself and you figure out what it is you have to know, all right? Especially when you deal with certain people, so that you're confident. You have to be confident in who you are, confident in what you know, so that when you're dealing with these covert narcissists that try to mind fuck you and plant that that doubt rather in you, that you don't sway. You don't sit there and say, oh, maybe I'm the problem. No, you know what the facts are. You know what the truth is. And if this person is not acknowledging it, then they are trying to mind fuck you. You've got to be able to see it. All right. And like I was explaining to her, I was like, you know what? Your confidence is built by gaining. Knowledge is power, all right? So the more you know, the more confident you are, the stronger a person you are, okay? And I'm going to give you guys another example. With my ex, when I was going through my divorce, when I first went into court years ago, all right, I was very timid. I was intimidated by the lawyers, the judges, everything that was going on in that courtroom and everything. And I was dealing with people that were really, making up lies, really trying to snake me. All right. And I'm not going to get into all the details here, but really flat out lies, real down and dirty. All right. And I was very, intimidated by all that. And it could be, it could really make you feel insecure. I went to court for over 3 years. And then 7 years later, I just went to court in the last year again. Only the last year, I represented myself in that courtroom. And I went in like a fucking tiger, all right? To the point where my ex's lawyers were trying to cut a deal with me, okay? So the point I'm trying to make in all of this is your pain becomes your strength, all right? Your pain becomes your strength, and your power, the way you gain your power is in knowledge. So the knowledge that I'm trying to give you here is this, okay? Not everybody is going to flat out be transparent, tell you what's on their mind, and explain things to you, all right? You have to pick up on the nonverbal body language and the silence that somebody gives you when you're talking to that covert narcissist. Is their back turned to you? Are they ignoring you? Are they, talking to other people and not including you? Are they isolating you? These are people that are trying to dismiss you. Are they dismissing you? Okay? But the paradox in all of this is that they're telling you something else with their mouths. They're telling you they care about you. They're telling you they've got your back and all of that. But they don't have your back, okay? Because when push comes to shove, and if you ever tested them and tried them to have your back when you were down, they wouldn't be there for you. So what am I saying with all this in this podcast, you guys? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, I got a thunderstorm going on. I got my little pit bull, yelling at me. He wants to go outside. But the point in all of this that I'm trying to explain is this, you guys. You have to not, somebody's behavior tells you who this person is. Who is this person? It's not what comes out of their mouths. It's their pattern of behaviors over time. And the pattern of behavior of a covert narcissist is erratic. They are not consistent. And this is how you're going to really see them for who they are, okay? It's not what comes out of their mouth. It's by their pattern of behavior. You watch that pattern. You can even write it down on a piece of paper because sometimes you forget. You write all this down, you guys, okay? Rolled their eyes at me. Didn't answer when I brought something up. Did the silent treatment around Christmas. Did the silent treatment... did the silent treatment, every time my family's around or something like that. Does not have my back. Ignores me in a room when I'm around other people. All right. Doesn't include me in family get-togethers. Tries to isolate me and alienate me because they're competitive with me and they don't want unity. They want, division because they're competitive for maybe somebody's attention and, they want to be the golden child and everything because they're after somebody's money. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So, you guys, so the point I'm trying to make is the silence of the covert narcissist will show you who the fuck they are. Okay. They're silent bullies. They don't tell you what's on their mind. They pretend that they are in your corner. They pretend that they have your back. They pretend that they're all in the relationship. Excuse me. But they're not. They're not. They do not. They're silently jealous and competitive with you. All right. But they don't show you that. And what people say, why don't they just say what's on their mind? They don't tell you what's on their mind because they don't want you to come after them, all right? They're afraid. They're basic cowards. They understand this. These people cannot open up. They're basic cowards, okay? So they have to fly, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. They have to fly under the radar. And this is what they do so that you don't spot what they're doing. But you've got to look at their pattern of behavior over time, and it will show you that, hey, this person, they don't have my back. Them not even saying anything is an answer, okay? Like, if let's say you bring up something to them like, can we do things this way or whatever, and they just sit there and they stare at you and they look at you. That is an answer. Obviously, that means no, okay? Obviously, that means no. And obviously, they're not trying to work it out and meet you in the middle and compromise, all right? Or some of them will just say, yeah, whatever, yeah. And then meanwhile, they do what they want, okay? So you guys understand this. The biggest point is when this person is not being transparent, and this person can't communicate. Covert narcissists cannot communicate directly. Period. End of story. So again, they fight you with silence, or they play dumb with silence. They love the dumb card. They're always like, oh, I didn't know. Okay. Nobody plays dumber than a covert narcissist who's trying to get out of taking accountability. So all of this shows you who they are. And it's up to you to read between the lines and read between the nonverbal body language and the silence to see exactly who this person is. I hope that makes people understand, because I know it's a complex thing. And unless you would not know this. Like, psychologists would not know this. They'll read about a covert narcissist, but unless you've had them in your family, which I have and do, okay? Unless you've been married to one, unless you've really been around someone a long time, you wouldn't get you wouldn't understand these people, okay? You would not understand these people. And I just had somebody comment, and she said she was going to therapy for a year. She said the therapist, it's okay for, textbook, therapy, right out of the textbook, whatever. But that's very different from real life experiences. Somebody who's experienced it could tell you things that psychologists couldn't, because these aren't in books. It's like my son's psych nurse. He knew how these meds worked better than the psychiatrist, because he worked in the mental hospitals, and he knew how these medications worked on a multitude of people from life experience. This is something that the other psychiatrist that I used for my son was a moron and didn't know how to, diagnose my son, or he told him to take medications that were all wrong, that cause addiction and cause other problems. But it was the psych nurse, because of their life experience, hands-on experience working in these mental hospitals and knowing how these medications work. It's not always what's written on a bottle, okay? So this is the point I know I'm going off today, but this is the point I'm trying to get to you guys, all right? This silence of the covert narcissist, pick up on it. If you're feeling a certain way, there's a reason. This person is making you feel uneasy, okay? That uneasiness is caused by something, because of their behavior. You've got to sharpen your brain, and you've got to pick up on it, and you've got to say to yourself, no, not today, Satan. I see what this person's trying to do. They're trying to dismiss me. I see what this person's trying to do. They're running silent on me to try to control me. It's emotional abuse, to have me begging them so that I never open my mouth again. So you have to see this thing, and you have to say to yourself, you know what? That's their fucking problem. That's not my problem. I walk in the truth. And if they can't acknowledge the truth, then I don't deal with them, okay? I don't deal with them, all right? So let me go, you guys. I hope that helps you guys. I'm losing my voice. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast, and have a great day. Don't forget, follow me on YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast. And one other thing, I hate to even bring this up, you guys, but there is a narc abuse influencer from India who keeps, every time I do a video topic, a couple hours later, he's coming out with the same topic, twisting around the words. And, it's really, really annoying. Really, really annoying. And I'm sure a lot of people know who I'm talking about, all right? He's a pretty big influencer. And, every time I come up and I bring up something, it's like a few hours later, he's posting about it, and he's twisting it around and plagiarizing it, okay? So just be aware, when you see a topic or something, recognize when somebody posted it, because there's a lot of copycats out there that build their platform off other people's life experiences and try to make it their own, okay? And somebody said, well, it's bringing awareness to everybody. Yeah, it's bringing awareness to everybody, but I'm not going and copying the New York Times bestseller book and then putting out a book and saying it's mine, right? So it's plagiarism, and it's not right. And I want to make you guys aware. Okay, you guys, have a great day. Don't forget, follow The Game Exposed podcast on YouTube, and my Facebook and Instagram is The Game EXP123. Watch out for fake pages on Facebook, and have a great day. Thanks. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that The Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day.